Hello, everyone. My name's Robin Graves, and this is the world according to Graves. Yes. Please excuse the slow transmission and everything. Got a lot of things happening here and everything. This is kind of a special one for me. I want to talk about a few things before I get into the meat of the subject. Here, there's been a lot of talk about Trump's illegal immigration plan and all this, and how he's putting people in cages and all this. Never happened. Truth is, that was a photo taken from 2014. Um, who was the president in 2014? Please, somebody, remind me. Oh, Barack Obama. Yeah. So, holy crap! I'm sitting here like Larry King tonight on Larry King Live. I'm a corpse. But anyway, got the humor out of the way. No, I've been seeing a lot of stuff. People talking about how he's cruel as unusual. He's separating children from their parents. That was a law done by Democrats back in 2014. Okay, that was set in place. Actually, I believe it was before 2014. It was actually happening when Clinton was in office. It started by him also. It seems Clinton and Obama have got this bad habit of running and saying they're anti-illegal immigration. They got this plan. They're going to do this. They're going to protect our borders. When it comes down to it, they find out, oh, holy shit, we're not going to have as many voters. So they decided they're going to throw a screaming fit and not do it. And then later on, when the next president comes along, we're told that that president is doing the same thing that these other guys did, and how it's wrong because he's not one of the other guys. You're out there talking about Trump's a Nazi. You have no idea of what Nazism was. You have no idea of what Hitler was. There's not people being taken out of their homes for being his detractors and killed in the streets or disappearing for good. Nazis were actually socialist. I don't see Trump being a socialist. In fact, people are doing better now under Trump financially than under Obama. In fact, with the low employment rate and the plummeting economy, didn't Obama say this is the new normal? Okay, that's been proven that it's not the new normal. But the pictures of the kids in cages and how we're tearing children apart from the parents. Well, first thing off, you got to understand something. Coming in this country undocumented it is a felony. It is illegal to do. We are a country of laws, not of men. That's what separates us from animals. We have laws. We have order in this country. But we can't talk about that because, oh, it might hurt somebody's feelings. Who cares? Your feelings are hurt because you have to obey a law. Get out of the country. Leave. Go find someplace else to live in the Bahamas or something. I don't give a rat's ass. Just get out of the way so that those of us who are law-abiding can live in peace. And it's funny, it's always some lefty loser out there who didn't vote to begin with who are saying this kind of things. I've been to these rallies, the anti-Trump rallies, and all these people who complain about the same thing, about how we're treating illegals badly, are the same people who never voted. And most of them don't work for a living. Right now, our economy is doing so well. We have more people, we have more jobs. Excuse me. No mistake here. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. We have more jobs than we have people looking for jobs. And the main people I see throwing a screaming fit about Trump are people who don't work anyway, are those losers in Hollywood, which we all know Hollywood is, if you will actually Google this, you will find out. Hollywood has been ran by communists since, oh my gosh, at least the 40s. At least. You don't believe me? Google it. Take a look at it. There's a very good video on it from the Rachaholic on YouTube. He explains everything. My buddy will explain everything to you. Anyway, I want to get down to the meat of the subject. I had a good transition set up for this to go from one subject to the other, but that transition's out the window. It's to hell with it. I just want to say that a lot of the people on the left, they're not doing a political platform. They're doing a political wedge. They're supporting MS-13, which are animals. Evidently, they've never met anybody from MS-13. They have no clue who MS-13 is. And they're wanting to raise your taxes. That's it. That's all they're running on. And you guys, the people on the left are going to vote for them because, well, they're Democrats. Why not vote for a Democrat? I'm a Democrat. My parents were Democrats. Who gives a rat's ass? Which is all bullshit. All of these things are being said by idiots. I'm talking about bullshit by idiots. There are no bigger bullshit artists than many televangelists. You know, I'm talking about people like Peter Popoff, Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, Jimmy Swaggart. The list goes on. And included in this list is somebody who, in my opinion, and opinion of many others, pure bullshit, Mr. Joel Osteen. Yes, Joel Osteen. Wow, I did a lot of research on him this morning. Lakewood, there in Houston, Texas, Lakewood Church has a mega church that was the former home of the Houston Rockets. Holy crap, 16,000 people could get in this church. Did you know during Hurricane Harvey, he would not open the doors of the church to help people, for them to have shelter or anything? He refused to. He said it's because due to flooding. There were actually videos set up by people of the day, all day long, of the hurricane in front of his church. There was no flooding. He later came back to come back later on to Good Morning America. I believe that was on the following Wednesday, bright and early. And let me see here. He said the doors were never closed. Yeah, it's either he's a liar or the doors were never opened to be closed to begin with. Afterwards, he decided instead of his excuse for not helping people, give them a place for shelter, he would actually be a place for dispersal, dispersing home, things they needed. So if you needed toilet paper and maybe some kind of dandruff shampoo, yeah, he's the guy you go talk to. He'll give it to you. Yeah, that's a really good guy there. Wants to make sure that you're clean in the bathroom. Who cares if you die? But he thanks you for your tithes. Yes, all the tithes that all these people are giving, he thanked them for it. Yeah. Which brings me to the whole thing that he's done. Prosperity gospel. I think it's bullshit. Pure and simple. I've seen this happen in a lot of churches. And it's not exactly by scripture. Myself, I'm Buddhist. So, I study all kinds of religions. Anyway, But from what I've studied about the Christian religion, prosperity gospel is pure and simple bullshit. Pure and gone. That's it. His whole thing revolves around 3 statements, 3 rules. 1, if you're not doing well, you're not a good person. 2, if you're doing well, then you're making money. 3, if you're doing well and you're not making money, look back to rule 1. Yeah, that's exactly what everything of his dictates. If you throw away all the bullshit and read it in between the lines and everything, I've read one of his books. Believe me, man, the man's a con artist. Pure and simple. This whole thing goes by the whole, let me see, write this down. I got this in my notes here to make sure I don't screw it up too well. Too bad. If you are doing badly, give me more money. If you still aren't doing well, then give some more money and I'll see to it you do well. And if you are doing well, I'm a saint, so give me more money. I honestly do believe he wants you to do well if you're a member of his church. I really do. Because, for one reason, he wants those tithes in his church. 10%. Give 10%. And if you're doing well because you think you're doing well because of him, you're going to give him more money and stuff and things. This is stupid. Everybody says, well, it's all non-profit tax deductible. He uses it to do good things. Let me explain something. I know how being a non-profit works. I'm actually one of the heads of a non-profit, the American Reptile Association. Unfortunately, I have scruples, so I don't screw things around. My finances are fully public. I don't get paid for what I do. I do it out of passion. Anybody who works for the ARA does it out of passion for what they do. The money we do make only covers our expenses. That's it. And expenses, I'm not talking about paying us for our time. I'm talking about paying for our way to an event or an appearance or something. It doesn't pay for our animals. It doesn't pay for feeding them. That comes out of our own pockets. In fact, it's a couple of $100s a month easily for just for the ones my wife and I have. Anyway, no, it all comes down to the point of you have a nonprofit organization. You're allowed to keep 80% as operating expenses, which Joel Osteen pays himself $200,000 a year. Or maybe more, we don't know. But we do know it's at least $200,000 a year, which he's admitted. He considers all that an expense. He gets taxes back on that. Believe me, when you're tax exempt, you get money back on taxes. That much I do. I do know for a fact, as we do. Um, he'll take that 80%, use it for for operating expenses. The other 20% you're supposed to use, which he will, which he does, he does. He gives it to another nonprofit, which he owns, which he keeps 80% of that. That's 20% that's left. He'll put it into another nonprofit, keep 80% of our operating expense, and then 20% of that might go to do something. There's no law that says you can't have multiple nonprofits and help them all out in that way. There's no law. It's a loophole in the law. It's never been closed. Look at the Clintons. That's what they do with the Clinton Initiative. That's how the Clintons have gotten so wealthy through the Clinton Initiative. Not to mention, let's talk about something here. Let's see my notes here. What do I have here? I am going to say he does use his pulpit for, to make money tax free, which he uses to support his lavish lifestyle. Let's talk about his lavish lifestyle. His home is, I believe, let me see here, $9.5 million. He has a net worth of $40 million. His home is 17,000 square foot, 6 huge bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 3 elevators. Three elevators. I guess God doesn't want him walking up and down stairs. Sickening. He has a private jet. The house has a guest house and a pool house. All of this is supported by the proceeds from his church. Does that sound a little weird to you? Because it sure sounds really fucked up to me. Big time. The prosperity gospel he does is ridiculous. The whole thing about keeping his doors closed, at his church because of flooding. There was no flooding, at his church. He just didn't want anybody getting his church dirty. It might cost him $1 or $2 that he didn't have or couldn't afford to spend because he was working on doing something. Yeah, the man sells a lot of books. His nonprofit status pays for the publishing of his books, so he can sell them for profit. He's publishing them for nothing. He pays nothing out of his pocket to publish them. It's all from his proceeds of his super church. And then he sells them for profit. And like I said, I've read one of his books. I've listened to his sermons. The man reminds me of a used car salesman. A used car salesman will screw you out of your last dollar to sell you this piece of shit car. He will screw you out of your last dollar for promises that can't be kept and a product that is invisible. Now you might think he's wonderful because he's a reverend. He's a wonderful person. I'm a reverend. I'm licensed as a reverend. What do people think about me? I have a lot of people hating my guts. But the thing is he depends. His whole scam depends on his oratory skills to sell you this bill of goods you don't see, for promises he can't keep, that nobody can keep. And make you believe that if you're not making money, if you're not doing really well, you're an evil person. So you got to give him more money and be at his church and give him your 10% and all this other BS so that you can be a better person and do better. It's your classic scam done by almost every televangelist out there. So, and I've said all of this. I want to say one more thing. I want to make today a little short. I've got a lot going on here. I've got to do some other stuff here, some other video stuff here. And I don't have much time. But I will tell you this. Joel Osteen, he likes to block his critics. He doesn't want to address them. He doesn't want to clarify what he's doing. He thinks he's above clarifying his little scam. He doesn't want to explain it to you. Because if you criticize him, you know what he's doing. So therefore, he's afraid of you. Well, this goes out to you, Mr. Osteen. I'm not going to call you Reverend because you're nowhere near Reverend. I'm calling you out. I am calling you out. This will get back to you one way or another. It's going to be on a lot of social media, on YouTube. I'm calling you out, buddy. I'm giving you the chance to show up with me. Show up with me for a rebuttal to every accusation I've made about you. You could have, yes, I want a third person there as a moderator to keep you, to make sure both of us are calm. Believe me, I'll stay calm. I don't think you roar too after I get through with you. Believe me, friend, I'm good at chewing people up and spitting them back out. And you're the next target. I am calling you out, Mr. Osteen. I'm calling your ass out. I want you. I want to see you face to face. I want to sit down at a table with you, and I want to discuss things with you. I don't think you're a reverend. You're a con man. Your father might have been a reverend. You're not. I got a lot of things I want to bring up to you. Now, don't discount me, because I will keep doing this until you decide to take me up on it. Remember, Robin Graves from World According to Graves is calling your ass out. I'm giving you a chance here to explain yourself to me, to the people who watch me. And believe me, there's a lot of people who do watch me. Believe me, some of you may think I'm a joke. Some of you may take me seriously. But you're getting a chance. Don't blow it, because I will make your life living hell. I will make sure people know what you're doing. Believe me, I've got a lot of notes on you, and I haven't even started about your bullshit yet. So remember, one more time, Robin Graves from World According to Graves is calling you out. Let's do this. You guys take care of yourselves. I'm making today a short one. I've got a lot going on. There's a lot happening. This has been The World According to Graves, and I'm your host, Robin Graves. Hit like and subscribe if you want to. Leave a comment. Please, leave a comment. I will address your comments. Believe me. I will address them on the next show. The next show, we're going to talk about MS-13. Yeah. We want to let you know the truth about MS-13. You guys take care of yourselves. You guys have a good week. I'll see you next week. Take care. Goodbye.